Welcome to the Taiwan language episode, a podcast for learning and insights in Mandarin and Taiwanese. I'm your host, Yasmin. Hi everyone. Sometimes in Taiwan, I catch myself doing something very simple. I look up at the moon. It usually happens without planning. Maybe I am walking home after dinner. Maybe it's during Mid-Autumn Festival. When everyone is outside eating and chatting. Or sometimes it is just a quiet night and the sky feels a little closer than usual. Not because I'm searching for something specific, but because there is something about the moon that makes me stop. Have you ever felt that too? I used to think people look at the moon because it is beautiful, or maybe because it reminds us of traditions like family gatherings or childhood memories. But recently, I started wondering if there is another reason. Maybe we look at the moon not just because of what we see, but because of what we feel. In many cultures, the moon is not just a planet, it is a mirror. It reflects something inside us. In Taiwan, we grew up hearing stories about the moon, stories about people who live there. Stories about longing, waiting, and sometimes repeating the same thing over and over again. And when I think about those stories now, I begin to notice something. They don't just describe the moon, they describe us. Think about your own life for a moment. Have you ever felt like you are trying very hard but not getting the results you want? Have you ever repeated the same effort, hoping that this time it will be different? At work, we learn, we improve, we push ourselves forward. But sometimes it still feels like we are in the same place. Like we are moving, but also not moving. The feeling is hard to explain, but it's very real. And maybe that's why we look at the moon. Because somewhere deep inside, we recognize something familiar, a quiet struggle, a repeated effort, a question without an answer. We may not say it out loud, but we feel it. And maybe that's why these old stories have stayed with us for so long. Not because they are just stories, but because they reflect something true about being human. Next week, I want to share one of these stories with you. It is a story you may have heard before, but this time I invite you to listen to it in a different way. Not just as a legend, but as a reflection of effort, of patience, and of something we might not even realize we are doing. If you are curious about what that might be, I hope you will join me in next week's Chinese episode, where we will explore this story together. And if you are a study guide subscriber, you can also download the guide ahead of time and take a deep look at the language ideas and questions behind it. Before we get there, let me leave you with one simple question. The next time you look at the moon, what do you think you are really seeing? Alright, that wraps up what I wanted to share today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. This preview episode gives you a sneak peek of next week's Chinese episode, where the full story will be shared along with the rich storytelling, cultural insights, and local phrases you will not get from just this preview. You can also download the study guide and read through the full Chinese script of next week's episode ahead of time. It might give you a fresh perspective when you listen to the story later. The study guide also includes the vocabulary, grammar tips, culture notes, and extension questions, giving you everything you need to explore the story more deeply. I hope today's preview sparks your curiosity and gets you excited for the full episode next week. If you enjoyed this episode, I will be so grateful if you could leave a 5-star review on your favorite platform and share it with your friends. It really helps more people discover this podcast. You can also support my work by buying me a cup of coffee. Every little bit helps me keep creating language learning resources for you. Stay tuned next week. I can't wait to share it with you. See you soon.